This is the brand new cooler from Arctic, the Freezer 36, and I've got the black version. This is single-handedly the most impressive cooler I have ever tried on this channel, and you want to see why. So let's go.
Looking for a cheap way to license your Windows? Check out Hookiees through the links in the video description. Make sure to use the code TN20
to get 25% off. Use your preferred payment method including PayPal or bank card. Go to your orders and copy the key.
Paste the license to the activation settings and you're all done. This license is for Windows 10, but you can upgrade it to Windows 11 for free.
Or you can buy Windows 11 Pro key instead.
They also offer Microsoft Office 19 license. Use the same code TN20
to get 25% off.
Check out hookiees.com in the video description below.
Firstly, when we do an unboxing of this, you realize that inside the packet you have something called a contact frame, which usually costs you roughly around $10 to $20. But if you buy this cooler, then Arctic says that on the Intel 13th, 12th and 14th generation CPUs, you really want to install this because the included retention bracket is not very good and actually bends your CPU over time. But they just include this with the cooler. You might want to take this off the price when considering buying this. By the way, if you do want to check it out, I'm going to leave it linked in the description below. Now, once you've got that installed in your motherboard or on your motherboard, which one is chromatically better? I don't know. I'm just slightly annoyed because I filmed this video and realized my screen recording wasn't working. So I guess it's best out of two. It comes with MX6 thermal paste, and here we have the AM5 mounting accessories. It comes with these fans here, and these are the Arctic P12 PSD fans that go up to 1800 RPM. And they are very quiet and silent. In fact, if it goes below 5% PWM, it's 0 dB. And when I tested this, in a moment, I'm going to show you, they are so quiet. I mean, it's just like you can't really hear it. But to actually show the absolute ultimate performance of this cooler, I want to start off with this setup here. Now, I have set these Phanteks T30s up on this one, which also shows that you can use any fans on the cooler, whatever ones you want. But when I'm using these ones, you're probably not going to be able to fit 4 RAM slots in there, as you can see, because the Phanteks T30 is a little bit thicker. I'm going to set the power limit to 300 watts. And now, going to Cinebench R23, we're going to press start and look at these temperatures. Nope, we're not thermal throttling. 39,000 points pretty much. This air cooler didn't thermal throttle. I mean, when did you see an air cooler that pulls 300 watts and it's not thermal throttling? And I'm not talking about Threadripper coolers. I'm talking about an Intel CPU that has the heat spot so small in one place, like the 12th, 13th and 14th gen. That's absolutely insane. And that doesn't stop there. We could go even further. 310 watts. 5.4 gigahertz, some of them 5.5 gigahertz, 97 degrees, and with thermal throttle slightly just over there. But we're over 39,000 points. Now, just to put it in perspective, what this score there means. Have you seen my Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 420mm AIO review? In there, we were getting similar scores with that one over there. Like 300 something watts than what I'm having with this air cooler. That's just mind-boggling. And when we're thinking about the air cooler test that I did, you might have seen this. It's a very popular video on the channel where we just slapped loads of air coolers on the 3900K and saw if this can be actually air cooled. And bear in mind, in there we didn't use the contact frame, and that also shows how good the contact frame is and how much performance we can also gain by just applying the contact frame onto the CPU. You realize in there that there I've set the thermal limit to 285 watts, and then we're pretty much instantly thermal throttling after half a run of single test on all of the air coolers. This guy is running 300 plus watts and is just cooling it down. Now, why don't we do this? Why don't we just put it to unlimited power? Let's see what happens. 363 watts. What's the motherboard thinking? Look, 5.5 gigahertz on all of those cores we had. Now 5.4. I know it's saying 100 degrees, but it really is the same temperatures. We got 300 extra points. As you can see, there's no point in increasing really the thermal limit because we're not actually getting any more boost in any of the, cores. But as you can see, a lot of the cores we're trying to boost to 5.7 gigahertz and 2 of them not one of them, to 6 gigahertz. If we were to set this to 285 watts, which is pretty insane for any cooler, any air cooler especially. If we go in here, let's start running these back to back. For some reason, it slightly thermal throttles at first, even though we're not even at the thermal throttle level. As you can see, all the P cores have gone to 90 maximum here, 92 one of them now. 25.1 degrees in this house. Look at that. We're not thermal throttling. 90 degrees, 93 degrees package. For a minute, like a second with thermal throttling at first, but then moving on. Now, if you look at these test results here, what have I been running? 38,394 points. 38,375 points average. 5 passes, and we're still not thermal throttling in the middle of the run. Do you understand how ridiculous this is? Now, you might be saying, oh, this is, you know, you've got the best fans in there, and what about the original fans? Well, let me show you. So, I've just put the computer to sleep for a second, and to get these fans off, it's very, very simple actually. In order to get those fans off, all you have to do is just kind of pull these fans off, because you've got these screws that are interchangeable to whichever fan you want to use. And then on this side, as you can see, you've got these tiny little holes where these screws will nicely just clip in there. So if you want to pick these fans up, I'm going to leave them in the description below. But if you do want a little bit more quiet fans, I actually recommend checking out the Arctic P12 Max fans. And they are the ones that you might want to get just because they are a little bit more quieter. So all you do is just screw these fans in all the way to the end. Make sure you put 4 screws on the back of one fan and then 4 screws in the front of the other fan. And now, once the screws are in, obviously this will be the back fan because we'll have to pull the air through. So I'm just gonna line up this and then click it in. Voila, your fan is installed. Now the same with the front fan. And let's try this setup. Right. 285 watt limit. Press start. Can you even hear the fans? They're so quiet. And look at this blackout design, like a little Batman cooler. And absolutely no problems. Running what? 37,000 something plus points? I don't know why it thermal throttles, because look at that. It's 80 degrees, the core. 95, one of them. Core 6 is 95. Well, that's mighty impressive. And now this is so quiet. I can hear the power supply, but I can't hear this. That's absolutely insane performance. And bear in mind, 285 watts is still above Intel's limit. If we went to Intel's limit, which would be 253, not a lot of coolers can handle this, even this. This would be too much, right? Let's see how we're doing. What's going on with these E-cores? Oh, why did these E-cores not boost up? That's why we got so little points. Look at these E-cores. What are they doing? What are you doing slagging off there? Again, look at these 4 E-cores. Just not deciding to not have a go at it. Now, my room has already heated up in here, and I've got about 24.8 degrees in here. If you had a cooler system, and from, you know, just overnight turning this on, obviously this is a lot cooler system, and if you had some airflow to the front, from the front of the PC case, you might actually get a better result here. But am I impressed with this cooler? Yeah, absolutely. There's a few things that absolutely amaze me about this. Firstly, design. Like, I'm a big fan if someone designs something amazing, and this one just looks very nice. You've got this really nice matte black on the top design with Arctic kind of a little bit more shiny on a different material. You've got black fans, it's quiet, it's very powerful, it's really nice. And it feels like you're getting quite a lot for your money. So if we are taking actually the cooler off, you've got 2 screws that screw directly into the contact frame. So you don't have to have any extra mounting accessories or loads of screws. All you do is install the contact plate or contact frame, and the cooler just installs to that, which is a great idea. And Arctic was the first one to do it. And I bet you a lot of the other coolers are gonna do exactly the same, the other manufacturers, because this is a really good idea, how you can add value to the end customer and actually improving the cooling performance as well as the longevity of the whole system of the PC. And you can see here that we've got 4 heat pipes and they're directly connected to the IHS of the CPU. And if you're looking at the CPU coverage on the IHS, then we've got very, very good contact with these heat pipes. I bet that's one of the reasons why we're getting such a good performance there. I wonder what happens if we had a 5th heat pipe here, or perhaps a mixture of different heat pipes. Maybe one thicker one in the middle that would get all of the heat out, and then 2 of the smaller ones on the side, or 3 of the smaller ones, because you do have a little bit on the side of this CPU that is actually not getting covered. I know that the main heat is going to be somewhere in the middle, but what if the whole IHS would be covered? You might get a better result. So the only downside that I can think about on this cooler is the RAM support. Because these fans can be adjusted higher and you can't really, change the height of the coolers, you might struggle to fit 4 sticks of RAM in your system. If you have 2 sticks, you're probably not going to have any problems, even if you use thick fans like the Phanteks T30s or something like the Arctic P12s from Arctic. They're very, very good fans as well, but much quieter. And one of the best quiet fans out there. So definitely recommend this cooler. Go check it out in the description below. Nothing bad to say. And if you do want to build yourself the best bang for buck creator PC, then there's some build guides in the description below. Now, you might want to change the cooler out to this one, what you can find in the description below, because that might be a better option. Or go with the recommended one. I don't know, your choice. Because PC building, you can choose whatever you want. So the choice is up to you. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.